Hi guys, hope you're doing well. There's something I want to read on and I'm just going to go ahead and record it. And it's like, I don't even know if I'll share it because it's kind of almost some people might think it's inappropriate for me to read on Bob Saget, who just died yesterday, Sunday. But I just can't stop thinking about it. And I just feel like I want to read on what happened. It's so shocking. You know, he just did a show, I think the night before, and he seemed happy and healthy. The sheriff, I believe, says there was no drugs at the scene or foul play. But there's something about his family's statement that they don't seem surprised to me. I also saw a radio clip that from about a week before he died where he talked about having had COVID and getting it pretty bad. And then they were saying he was sick even that day. So I thought maybe that. But then my sister, who lives in Orlando, she listens to a radio show every morning, and he had been on last week, you know, before his show. And they played some clips of it again this morning, sort of in remembrance. And everyone was noticing he was slurring. And my sister sent it to me, and I watched it, and he made a joke about 5 minutes in. Laughter is the best medicine. No, it's not. It's Percocet. And I'm thinking, I don't know. It's just so mysterious, and I just feel like I want to read on it. So I'm going to. I don't know why I keep feeling like he didn't, like even he is as shocked as anyone else that he died. And my husband reminded me that we've met him before. We've been living in Hollywood for 15 years, working in the industry, and you just, through the years, you meet people, and he was super nice. I guess he and my husband had a good conversation and really connected. I don't know, I'm feeling him, and I want to do a reading. I want to just see what happened. I know he was also very devastated from his best friend Norm Macdonald's death, which was about a year ago. It's possible that maybe he needed something to feel better. I mean, such a nice guy. Like, everybody just talks about him. Almost, it's interesting because similar to how they talk about Betty White. Like, just the nicest person. Okay, so Bob Saget, show us what happened. Bob Saget. Wow. Okay. Unbelievable. The devil card, just so you know, the devil card is the addiction card, okay? This is addiction. It can mean other things as well, but addiction is one of the meanings. So he was, dealing with the devil of addiction. You see, these people are just chained to this, and I think he was chained to something. Well, that validates that. I mean, at least in the cards, you know, this is not the news. I do not know the facts, but I do think we will eventually know. Very sad. Four of Swords, my gosh. It's just laying it all out. So Four of Swords is resting. Putting the swords down, laying down. This can literally be a card that is death. But it's a type of death where you lay down and you die. So we've got addiction, and this is just, it's almost like he couldn't sleep. You know, he needed, or maybe this is something like a sleeping pill, something he takes to sleep. I do think it's the addiction and just letting go. So sorry to Bob Saget. I feel like he really didn't want to go. Okay, so at the surface, upside down Queen of Wands. Interesting, because I only put 3 cards upside down. It didn't feel like I needed to for him. He's such an upright guy, but someone gave him something bad. That's what I feel here. Someone gave him a bad pill. That's what I think. Bad influence here, someone. Or, you know, it could even be representing the thing itself. The pill, there's something wrong with it. Something he... And I only am assuming now that it is from an addiction because of this devil card. So I'm not... In the past, Ace of Swords. I'm not sure what that is right now. I'm going to move forward. Oh. The Lovers. I'm going to guess that this fell out because it wants to be with this. To help give meaning. It's almost like he tried something and it was exhilarating to him. And he got hooked on it. It became like something that gave him feelings of companionship or love. Just made him feel better. Something blew his mind and made him feel better. And you know, it's interesting, I talked about losing his friend Norm Macdonald. You know, that could put you in a real depression. There's a tribute I listened to this morning on YouTube where he talks about Norm for like 40 minutes. You can just feel his pain. He just thought, wow, this helps, this works. Okay. So I just wanted to add, I am reading these cards through the lens of my question, which is what led to his death. And though that may be accurate, what I felt in those cards, I did see another layer watching back, or another message, which is the positive side of his life, what he did right and achieved with it. That Ace of Swords would be his extremely sharp wit, which was a gift that he yielded so masterfully with such success. And the Lovers shows the union he created with his audiences and others who knew him, friends and family. And I feel he even made the rest of us connect with each other more in the sense of making the world a better place. Even though some of his comedy could be raunchy, I feel like the general takeaway was always that it's okay to be a good guy. So I just wanted to add that other message that I got from these cards when I was watching back, because I think that's really important. Future judgment. Oof. Okay, so we're gonna find out the truth of what happened. I'm not saying, you know, we should judge him, but I think you're gonna hear, you know, you can see here the trumpet blowing, like you're gonna hear more the story as the story unfolds. We might, it's sort of, Judgment Day is sort of like an awakening of realization. And so we might realize. You know, now that I've done the full reading and watching back, I realize this could also relate to his own need to accept what happened. And like the characters in this card, he needs to start looking up rather than looking back. Let's see what's beneath the surface. Six of Wands is a triumph. I feel like he had a great show. He was feeling good about himself. He's back. I'm on top of the world. I'm back. And he let himself maybe slip. He was feeling good about himself. It's that kind of moment. And he wanted to reward himself, I think. So let's see how he's doing right now, wherever he may be. The Wheel of Fortune. So I think he's crossing, but I'm getting a ringing in my ear right now. It's interesting. You know, it feels like I hate to say it, it does feel like a painful kind of crossing, possibly. I don't know. When I hear about near-death experiences, it always sounds wonderful, but I think there's some trepidation. I think he kind of wants to stay. But there's it's the wheel is turning. He'll make his way. Let's see what else. Page of Pentacles. I feel there's someone on the other side who is approaching him to help him. It's an offering sort of gesture. Trying to figure out what the offer is. I think it's just offering to help him across. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune. You know, and maybe it's Norm. If he's made his way, could be... I'm gonna throw another one on this Page of Pentacles. I'm just very curious. Five of Wands. Fighting. Oh, okay, yeah, he's fighting it. Oh, okay. Oh, man. He's fighting it. Arguing, this Five of Wands. He's like, no, man, no. No way. But this Nine of Swords is a realization that's rising here. Of like, oh my God, this is real, this is happening, I did this is happening. That's a real shame, I'm so sorry. I mean, I know it's gonna be okay, you know? I just think he's in a little bit of a shock right now. Hopes and fears. The sun, beautiful, a brand new day. This would be like his rebirth into the afterlife. And so it makes sense that would be, you know, a hope and a fear. This is wonderful, but once he makes this jump, he's accepting that he's dead. He's accepting that he can't come back here for now. You know, he's accepting the reality of what happened. And it is interesting, this is also making me feel like, I wonder if he died in bed. And so, like, you can see this girl is laying in bed with the swords, and it's sort of like having to see, like, it's almost like he's being shown what happened. And like exactly how she feels in that, where it's like, oh, the dread of, oh no, the anxiety of, oh no. And I feel like that's sort of what he's dealing with right now, is the dread of having to see. Man, he just really thought it would be okay. He was on top of the world. I feel like he's almost saying, no, I was doing great. I had a great show. I just wanted to be able to sleep. Four of Swords, I just wanted to be able to sleep. Just wanted to be able to relax. Oh, man. Final outcome. I was almost hoping I'd see the sun as the final outcome, but let's see what else we get for him. The Emperor. You know, yeah, I sort of got a father figure in this, and that is one of the meanings of the card. I'd be really curious about his relationship with his father, and it's also like kind of taking me to his own higher self. I don't know if he was afraid of his father or afraid of authority in general. And maybe that's one of the reasons he ended up turning to, again, I don't know for sure, but the cards and some other things are taking me to, you know, maybe he went to chemicals that could make him feel better. There's like, but he doesn't realize that he's so loved, even by that which he fears will scold him. So what he's gonna learn, I think, in the afterlife is that he's not in trouble. He's not gonna be scolded. Like, it's okay. And I'll throw a couple other cards on that as well. But that sort of feels like the mountain. Oh. Four of Cups. Okay, yeah. And on this side, meaning I feel that this Four of Cups, oh, interesting. This is an offer you don't want to accept. You can see her no, I don't want it. And it's really literally like from heaven in this picture to me right now. Yeah, he's got to pass through his fear of feeling like he's in trouble. But he will. Because this person, it's like that cup's not going away. It's a 4 of cups. It's just that you don't want to see it right now. So I feel like he will like reluctantly eventually go to what he feels is some authority that's gonna be mad at him. You know, it's like taking me to like, he was such a child at heart and, you know, like sort of, I think he even described his comedy as like a 9-year-old. That's how he describes his comedy, something about being a 9-year-old. So it's possible that he sort of, and nothing wrong with that. I feel like a kid myself. But it's like, maybe there was some like escapism or something, which a lot of comics attest to. Comedy becomes an escape and you don't want to grow up. And it's such a gift to all of us because we get to just enjoy their entertainment. It's wonderful. It's very giving. But somewhere at that age, I think that he might have not, I wanted to stop growing up. There's something, you know, that intimidated him. I'm not saying, I don't know anything about any father figures in his life, but that he was maybe just a little intimidated by the whole grown-up thing. So it feels just like a slow, gradual acceptance. Interesting. I mean, these are 2 powerful cards. He's got some big, I mean, a death, I suppose, is very eventful and getting to the gates. I mean, this Hierophant feels a little bit like that. Reaching the gates and all that. I mean, you know, the Emperor, I mean, it feels a little like God, you know, but I don't know. It's intimidating to, I believe it's intimidating to him to go there and face that. And it's also very serious. He doesn't like to be serious. 10 of Wands, burdens. You know, I really wanted to see some more sunshine there, but, you know, who knows? You know, the other side is a mystery. He's got some big, profound figures and energies and moments to meet on his journey, but this Wheel of Fortune is telling us he'll get there, and he's got a friend by his side. He's got profound sort of gates to walk through, figures to talk to. You know, I mean, I really truly think he did nothing but good, you know. I mean, who knows? Nobody's perfect, but he did so much good. And like, but when we have this Judgment card and we have these big things, so I don't know why he would be facing, but I think it's hard for him to leave this world and all the joking that goes along with it, the silliness, because these cards feel very serious to me. Not to say there's no humor or comedy in the afterlife, I'm sure there is. But in this world, you have to become a master of the human condition to make people laugh. And I think he did master it and got to use it regularly, being able to perform for thousands. So I'm sure it's just really hard to leave that behind, especially when he didn't mean to and didn't see it coming so soon. It's a serious and contemplative journey is what I'm feeling, that he's not sure he's, you know, strong enough, but he is. Here with the 7 of Wands, standing his ground here. So that sort of sounds a lot of that same message. It feels like something that demands his seriousness. It's almost like a kid who doesn't want to go to church. And it's like, you have to go to church. It feels like his feelings of having to cross and go to the other side. He's like, no, I want to stay and play with my friends. I don't want to go through all this serious stuff. But I think he's going to realize he's he's part of like a much bigger world, a much bigger, it's like realizing you're royalty or something. And you're like, no, I'm just like a comic at the comedy club. I'm just the TV guy dad thing. And it's like, no, you're part of this huge, I don't even have the words. It's like I almost get like mythic family, or I just think it's a lot. And he feels like, you know, still like that kid. And it's like the whole world's gonna open up to him in such a way that I think feels a little intimidating to him at first. The world meaning like the bigger world outside of this world. I feel like he did come down here with a very big purpose. Because the feeling I'm getting is like, even though he was a funny man and a jokey guy and, you know, on the silly shows, that like there was a very serious purpose to it. So I think it's just strange to him to realize he's part of something so big, sort of monumental. And you know, sometimes the sweetest souls feel the most burden. 10 of Wands. I think maybe that's what that is. Or I said the thing about like, you gotta go to church, or it's like, go talk to your father, you know. You need to go sit with your grandparents and have a talk, and I don't want to. But yeah, it's like this is the father, the priest. I wonder if he grew up in a religion and has fears about the afterlife and sort of has to work through that. But I really do feel love in this. Like it's like they do celebrate him. He's just so intimidated by it. And he just needs to drop the burdens and go ahead and talk to the grown-ups. And it's gonna be okay. So very sad that he had to go. I'm glad he had a good night before he went. You know, that was like Tom Petty had a really good night. I was at Tom Petty's last concert, in fact. And so I always tell myself he had a great night. It was his last show of his tour, and he had those friends around. He was just full on Tom Petty, you know? And then he was gone. And maybe he's coming to my mind because maybe it's a similar situation that will come to light. And the afterlife stuff he'll get to. And I think he'll learn really interesting things about himself, his line, his spiritual line. He seems pretty high up, if you ask me. So, just blessings to Bob Saget, his family, what he's going through, like his crossing, his passing. Just wishing him the best. But, you know, hey, stick around and receive all the love you're getting right now from all your friends, because everyone loved you so much. It's like I'm feeling like no rush, you know. If he wants to hang around a little, you know, whatever it takes, he will get there. So, wow, that's my reading on that. Very emotional and sad, and we'll see how things go. And I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.